On our arrival, we were greeted by the head of the department. He bowed us with elaborate courtesy. A person with an inferiority complex is generally quite shy. This has been an unusually complimentary remark for you. The injured men were carried to the ambulance on stretchers. Do you happen to know the height of Ben Nevis? It is amazing how young she looks at her age. We had an enjoyable day boating on the lake. Snow lasts longer in mountainous regions. He proved so stubborn that it seemed pointless to me to insist. He is very anxious about his son's loss of memory. He was caught unawares, making faces at himself in the mirror. Her faith in the power of God is questionable. All of us burst into laughter at his joke. The results of the test were quite different from our expectations. It's absolutely dishonest and dishonorable to cheat your parents. The professor's explanation was out of my depth. I felt powerless under the circumstances. Lots of Americans volunteered to fight in World War I in Europe. Romanian cuisine offers a great variety of dishes. Is this money sufficient for your expenses? He proved to be a very energetic man as chair of the committee. I wonder what they expect from this investment. The animals appeared uncontrollable when the flames surrounded them. This sociologist has written an outstanding book about family life. I can't understand his attitude. It is absolutely inexplicable. He behaved rather suspiciously under the circumstances. What possibilities of entertainment would you recommend in your town? Lots of people go abroad in pursuit of work. Practicing any sport definitely makes you muscular. I felt she was envious of me, in spite of her smile. Sometimes all of these formalities turn out to be rather boring. On the 4th of July, countless people watched the fireworks. I need reassurance that he will really recover. You can never guess what she wants. She's so changeable. You have been cheated. These stamps are worthless. I'm glad you have so tactfully explained things to her. Summing up, 9 votes in favour, 2 against, and 4 abstentions. You'll put on weight if you keep eating so many sweets. You have to do a lot of special exercise to strengthen your muscles. Goat milk is believed to be very nutritious. He's highly thought of for his inventive mind. This kind of work requires precision. I can't recognize you. You're acting like an automaton. I'm not very sure about the length of the room. There was certainty in her voice, and it was encouraging. She resented having to make a choice. Her boss can't help shouting at her for being such a poor typist. What are your feelings about her? She's trembling with anxiety at tomorrow's prospects. These accursed neighbors of ours have made another complaint. Her interview was exclusive to Vogue. One needs reliable friends when one is in trouble. She cautiously tiptoed across the room for fear they might hear her. My spirits rose at the warmth of her voice. Because of his excessive speed, the tires lost their adhesion. Daily attendance of classes is desirable, if not compulsory. Your encouragement on the eve of the exam meant a lot. The speedy retreat helped them survive. They have to widen this street to ease the traffic. The floods made the path impassable. He's in his late 50s, and yet his energy seems inexhaustible. The Grand Canyon is a place of scenic beauty. Fear of discovery forced him into concealment. All had their habitual places at the tables in the teacher's room. The body lay there lifeless, but no one dared touch it. The wild horses were driven into an enclosure. The media often benefit from leakage of confidential information. To make food taste and smell better, add some seasoning. The descent down the steep slope is quite exhausting. They've got a villa in the residential area. The economical use of any fuel will save you money. They live somewhere in the neighborhood. He was granted permanent residency in Canada. The principal threatened him with expulsion. Given the lack of evidence, their case resulted in an acquittal. She rose to stardom in no time, they say. Fashion design is highly competitive today. Due to his amazing powers of mimicry, he became a good comedian. I heard a voice whisper my name with clarity. That was a highly spectacular performance. Locusts are extremely harmful to crops. He hit the little boy mercilessly. We felt rather aggrieved not to be invited to the ceremony. I find his boring insistence troublesome. Your interference proved more of a hindrance than a help. One's relationship with one's priest or lawyer is strictly confidential. Why should you be so apologetic when the fault was not yours? The food on the table all looked appetizing. The company had to make important concessions to the strikers. How do you know he is that influential? One must be highly imaginative to write such things. Do you think they'll succeed in standardizing these weights? After so many successes, your present inefficiency is unbelievable. Telling the truth is advisable in this case. Meeting her sooner or later is unavoidable. I am momentarily at a loss, but I'll come to my senses, that's a promise. The postman delivered a large package to our next-door neighbor. To become a writer requires mastery of the written language. Most factories and plants release pollutants into the atmosphere.